Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a podcast war breaking out. That's right. I'm just the middleman. I am here officiating an all-out melee between a podcast studio and a podcaster known as Laura Owens. She's got a podcast. I can't remember what it's called. She hasn't released an episode in God knows how long. And now she's claiming the reason why she couldn't upload her latest episode is because
your audio sucks.
The audio sucked. Now, the question is, did the audio suck? Why is this important? It's less important about whether the audio is good or not and more about the story of Laura Owens. She, of course, has accused Clayton Echard of being the father of her unborn twins, which in and of itself wouldn't be that salacious, except the twins never showed up. Neither did the fetal DNA. There was a positive HCG test of 102, which would not be a level that would be, viable for any sort of pregnancy, especially at the stage in which she tested that. Also, she created medical fraud by using the powers of Adobe Acrobat to change the number from 102 to 139,000 or whatever the case was, and sent that to me in order to convince me she was pregnant. So anyway, how does that get us to where we are now? Well, where we are now, a full year and some later, is that not only is she trying to, I guess, dust off some PR campaign, but boy, is she failing in every way possible. I mean, part of me wants to give her some free advice and go, well, if you did X, Y, and Z, you'd actually be coming off more likable. But no matter what she does, no matter which corner she turns, no matter which horse she rides, she gets bucked off. And we're going to share the podcast studio. And by the way, you're going to tell a podcast studio that their studio sucks. That's like telling a chef he can't cook. And the chef's going to go like, I will serve everyone in this town my good omelets. Fine, sir. I will let you guys know that I can cook a good eggs Benny. Okay? So as far as podcast studios go, if you're going to come for the jugular, and the jugular in this case is crystal clear audio, you better not miss. And it appears as though her lawyer, main henchman number one, actually only henchman, she's got her lawyer and her mom. One's on the payroll. One, I guess, maybe she's got, I don't know. I don't know if she carries blackmail on her family or if they're just the tightest knit family. But boy, I wish my family had the type of blood bond that hers does. But I prefer justice instead. And justice will prevail as we make our 7,000th video. Can someone get me the giant scissors? We'll do a ribbon cutting ceremony here. But seriously, I'm going to share the podcast studio literally destroying the lawyer. Now, the lawyer, you could argue, is, well, just defending its client. My question is, why? This isn't in the court of public opinions. If Laura wants PR, I can get her a good PR agency. It's going to cost you $4,600 a month. It seems as though a lawyer is actually cheaper than PR because I don't think he's getting paid a pretty penny at all. So here's his accusation. And then I'm going to share the response from the podcast studio, a small business, female-owned. And by the way, the founder, she's not messing around. She tried her best to just say, I don't want to get involved. They got her audio involved.
Your audio sucks.
And she's rolling up her sleeves and saying, not on my watch, not today, not this Christmas season. So her attorney, Laura Owens, posted this. Laura asked me to share this short clip from our recent unreleased interview gone wrong. The audio is so bad, it was unusable, as if the mics were off, so the sound was echoey and captured the whole room, which would have been painful to listen to over 2+ hours. Now, if this was the only version of the podcast that they actually had, I don't think it's actually that bad. It is for sure listenable. It wouldn't make for great podcasting, but when has bad podcasting ever stopped Laura in the past? Here's a clip of them doing a sound test, sharing how bad the audio was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's picking up from all angles.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And you guys sound good.
Okay.
Now, the sound technician says, you guys sound good, so there's no way that this would have been the audio they would have used, right? One more time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's picking up from all angles.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And you guys sound good.
Your audio
Okay.
sucks.
Now, just as a side note, in my attempt to, I personally don't want to blast her sort of publicly because, look, creating content, it's tough. It sucks. So that's why in my thumbnail here, which I made on Adobe Photoshop. I know she's good at Acrobat. I'm good at Photoshop. But here I actually decided I would try my best to put a clown face over all of the clowns in the photo. Now, I don't want to get sued. Maybe she's not an actual clown, but, it's pretty silly what they're doing. So anyway, in all versions of their photos here, as deep as you go, you will see that there is full coverage of the clowns in question. We like to cover the clowns in question there. So anyhow, just as a side note here, just so you guys know, I'm trying my best. But either way, let's get back to the program. So they released that. And again, he might just be doing her bidding, but this is where you start to look so stupid when you're doing someone else's bidding. It could be her lawyer has a fetish where he just loves getting owned by the internet. Imagine if your fetish is getting owned by the internet. If that's the case, he's been edging for a full year almost. I mean, oh my gosh, no matter what he says, it's proved to be wrong. Interesting that how many, and again, I'm not taking a victory lap here, but I will say this. How many years did Laura get away with her chicanery? And then we come along, our community, and we put an end to it. She hasn't won a motion. Maybe some frivolous one. She hasn't won anything since we got involved. And you might say, well, she's just trying to drop it and move on. Yeah, sure. Tell that to the podcast studio here. So the studio gets a hold of, the studio finds out that she's somebody who isn't exactly in the favorable eye. How did the studio find out? Well, they posted a selfie, and in the background was like a mug, and it said the name of the studio. I'm sure someone in our audience, as sort of ravenous, rebellious, and rambunctious as they are, probably contacted the studio and said, why are you going to have somebody on who's literally just, taking advantage of the judicial system and whatever. And I'm sure they were like, whoa, we had no idea. And when they responded, we had no idea, she starts sending them emails through her lawyer saying, what you're doing is defamatory to my client, blah, blah, blah. Get out your bingo cards, folks. We need a t-shirt. I got called defamatory, and this is the only shirt I got, whatever. Because literally so many of us have been called defamatory. When, it would be scary to a random layperson to be accused of defamation and things like that. I know that for sure. But when it comes down to it, it's like everyone's trying their best, and the podcast studio doesn't have to put up with their BS. So they tried. They tried their best. They said, you know what? We don't want anything to do with this. They released a public statement. Move along, folks. We're not going to work with her again, blah, 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 blah. Well, what did they get for their good deeds? I guess she filed a complaint with the attorneys general, and she also filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, which, again, first of all, who cares from the grand viewpoint of all of the things going on? But to the podcast studio, if someone's deciding, do I want to go with this podcast studio or the other? Well, here's a really angry customer. Now, me personally, when a customer is really angry, that literally means nothing to me. If 17 customers in a row are angry, I'd go, well, maybe there's something wrong here. So I'll be quite honest. When I want to go get good Chinese food, I almost don't want it to have 5-star reviews. I want it to have a couple weird reviews in there, because that's how you know you're going to get your balls tickled. You know what I'm talking about? I want the white people to tell me it's too spicy. Oh, you can't go there. It's too spicy. I'm in. Let's go. It's authentic. That's what I want. I want good authentic variety here. So anyhow, they post this. PS Creative Studios yesterday posts my video, which, by the way, was crushing it. Laura targets female-owned studio. Great video, great 4K. Everything's looking, I could have showered, but everything else is looking good. And then they posted this. Talk about craziness. Our side from us coming soon. Enough is enough. No business deserves to be attacked by a customer through digital warfare. Tell that to Sean, the Native American contractor who lost $100,000, who, by the way, might be the biggest untold story here. We'll get to him another date in time. But either way, enough is enough. The buck stops here, they say. And by the way, nice garland there for the nice seasonal setup they have there. But again, they say, sounds good on our end. Not only do they say that, they show it. So we're going to get to a video of that. Justice for Clayton official, they reshared them. If any victim of Laura's would like to use PS Creative Studios for a podcast of your own, consider it paid for, including the editing services Laura was too cheap to pay for. So they're offering free podcast services. I love it when a business does this. How great. Free podcast services for anyone who, wants to tell their story that's, of course, been a victim of hers. If I ever go to Scottsdale, will not take them up on that. I will pay them. I will happily pay them for their services. And for sure, we'll be recording my podcast at PS Creative Studios next time I'm in Scottsdale. The chances are that the next time I'm in Scottsdale will be to run my one-man show, which covers the craziness. So maybe I tell you what, I'll pay for your services and I'll give you PS Creative Studios and everyone in your company a free ticket to the show if you want to see it told live. All right, so then next we have them responding, we record audio files separate from video. You have to layer them together. That's what we do when we edit. So what they're saying is, we didn't have bad audio, you just shared the wrong audio. And here is their clip of the female audio, Laura, and the male audio. Have a listen to the professional audio at PS Creative Studios.
Super.
Yeah,
So
okay,
we're all good to go.
check
Check 1,
1,
2.
Hello.
Definitely be closer.
Now, if he sounds echoey or faint, that's because this is her audio. There's 2 sets of audio. They get merged together in post-production. Crazy how it works. She wouldn't know this because she hasn't run her podcast. Maybe since the last time she had a podcast episode 2 years ago, they didn't have this technology. Spoiler, they did. She knows exactly what she's doing here.
Welcome to
Both of us?
Yes, please.
All right, so she's a little hot there on the audio, that is. And now we go to her lawyer.
Yeah. Okay. Check 1, 2. Check noise.
Maybe she's jealous that he has a better radio voice. I mean, he does. Generally speaking, the older men get, sometimes they'll get a bit more gravelness, sort of like a depth to their voice, which can turn out very nice. Her attorney has a pretty good voice. He would be really good at this if he didn't burn every single bridge in the content creator community. And by that, I mean, he could be making more, like a higher salary than the president of the United States of America doing what we do. You know, I mean, when you're successful, when you do what we do, you're getting paid more than a senator. You know what I mean? Like we have a big platform. We have thousands of people. Sometimes tens, sometimes hundreds, sometimes millions of people watch our videos. Not so many millions, but the podcast is doing great. Just to show you how great the podcast is doing, check this out. Christina Finley said Dave Neal wasn't even a podcast I listened to last year, and now he's number 1. Thank you for the great content. There it is, number 1, the Rush Hour podcast with Dave Neal. If you don't listen to podcast, 2025, you're going to start listening to the Rush Hour podcast, as I'll be merging my YouTube channel and the Rush Hour podcast to create great content for you. Sorry, Laura. We ain't going anywhere. So anyway, let's continue. Big shout out to all the supporters on Spotify who listen to the show. We appreciate you. So they share the male audio. They share the female audio. Now let me tell you guys a little update. Wouldn't we love to hear from the creator of this studio? In fact, let me just make sure. Let me get their bio up here. I need to make sure I'm recording this live because that's how we roll. So we want to get to the creator's studio of the PS Creative Studio. She actually will be on our podcast, our YouTube channel, momentarily. We're going to be interviewing her. You can watch that live on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal, Layla Adnani, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I will share the free public version. I never gatekeep the free version. You will get it. But if you want to watch that live and ask any questions and be a part of that Q&A that we're going to do with her, we can do that. Because, hey, nobody wants to support small businesses more than me. I know my audience, and I know that we, stick together and we put our money where our mouth is. We don't put our mouth where other things are. Hey, do what you want during the holiday season. You know what I mean? I'm not here to stop you. I'm not gatekeeping you sexually or in any other way. Do whatever you want. Just, be careful that no mouth babies are made. So they continue to share their truth. Sean Kite, who's their creative director, said, "It's okay to say you don't know how to sync audio. I found a video for you here. You can use the microphone audio files with the video files that we provided on your hard drive and on Dropbox. It's gonna work." So there it is. Let's actually click on his link here and see what that video is. I actually haven't looked here.
Hey everyone, and welcome to
So he actually shares how to quickly sync audio and video. Oh, how funny is that? Is that not the snarkiest thing? He says, "Here, I'll show you how it's done, but you guys know me. Why watch a video from somebody else when I can show you personally?" So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a Birds and the Bees talk for syncing audio. When you record on one of your professional cameras, right here we have our old Sony, this is our Sony A6000. I'm recording on our $3,000 setup. You know, it's very, you know, when you move around, it focuses. It's very sharp. It makes me look 30 years younger. I'm 99. Good skin, folks. Got that Irish. Don't smile too often, and you'll be fine. Anyway, you record on this. It has built-in audio, but the cameras are usually set far away. So you need crystal clear audio in a way to merge them together. It's very easy, folks. It's very easy. So if we go to our screen share, I'm going to pull it up for you. We love to show, don't tell. Here's a video I took for you guys, which is me on my phone with the audio 3 feet away. So at 1 arm's length is the audio here, and you'll see that it's actually not bad, but it's not professional. Have a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, testing. Professional sounding audio studio.
So I've also got this audio right here. Testing. Let's do this. Now that's a much better audio. Now I want to show you. It used to be that you would have to slide one audio on top of the other and sort of look at the different sound frequencies and find the clap motion. And no, not anymore, my friends. Click that, shift, click that, control, click that, scroll down right here, synchronize. Wow, look at that. So what it did was it actually just synchronized the 2 separate clips that I have. Let me pull this up here. And it found the exact wave files. Look how tight that is. That is so tight. That is the tightest audio I've seen in a long time. And when it's synced, listen to the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, testing.
Now you might say, well, Dave, that sounds good, but it's not perfect. Well, let's mute the iPhone audio. So now we just have our professional audio setup, which is a Shure SM7B $400 microphone plugged into a Rodecaster. It ain't rocket science, folks. Here's the pro audio.
And gentlemen, testing. Professional sound.
Chef's kiss. I don't get turned on by good audio, but if I did, I would be changing my pants right now, because that, my friends, is a professional setup. So we love that. There it is. Yeah, I mean, look, that's, that's your tutorial for how to run good audio. Let me see if there's anything else I want. Oh, you know what? There's actually one more thing I wanted to share. So we talk about, and by the way, I love that the podcast studio is attacking this with full force. I think you have to. I think you need to come at it and really let them know you're not going to be playing around. Oh, excuse me. Bad audio there. Oh, boy.
Your audio sucks.
So anyway, they say this is Layla. Oh, latest victim of Laura Owens. I mean, in one way she is. She received harassment by a lawyer threatening that she was being defamatory and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, lawsuits, blah, blah, blah. All because why? They decided they don't want to work with someone who's a known fraudster.
If you're one of the million.
So anyway, that's what they have there. Go give PS Creative Studios a follow, please. I mean, even if you're not in the Scottsdale area, give them a follow, support them, and help small businesses. Not only do we help small businesses, but we also are helping single moms during the holiday season. That's right. It's day 3 of the wish list we have for single moms in our community. And today's featured single mom is Sarah. And we have a link here to Sarah's Amazon wish list. Better than tell you about Sarah and her 18-month-old, why don't we go to a voicemail from Sarah, and then a link in the description will be provided. A link in the comment section will be provided where you can click on Sarah's Amazon wish list or any of the amazing people in our community that could use a helping hand. If you've listened to more than 10 of my videos, you've listened to me speak for hours, and you know and have trust that we are doing the best we can with our platform and with the audience we can bring together. The first year we did donations, we actually raised $10,000 for Toys for Tots. It was amazing. But I was like, you know what? As much as I love giving a $10,000 check to Toys for Tots, it isn't as personal as I want it to be. I want to help out people in our world. And today we're going to do that for Sarah and her 18-month-old. Have a listen to her voicemail.
Hi, Dave and Bachelor family. My name is Sarah, and I'm from the Phoenix, Arizona area. This holiday season, I'm reaching out with a little vulnerability as a newly single mom. My daughter Ella, who's now 18 months old, is my whole world, and we recently moved into a cozy little 1-bedroom apartment, and as we work to get back on track, and she's just been my constant source of joy and strength through all of this. Ella is full of life. She loves music, dancing, playing with her baby doll, and insists on bringing her little unicorn purse everywhere we go. Seeing her light up at the smallest things reminds me just how special these early years are. Any help with her Christmas wish list this year would mean just so much to our little family. Your support would help me give Ella a magical holiday and make her smile even brighter. Thank you for thinking of us during this special time of year. We love you all, and I hope everybody here has a wonderful Christmas and holiday season.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Sarah, I don't know exactly where Sarah was calling in from here, but she's got an 18-month-old. Oh, so I'm sorry, she said Phoenix, Arizona. Great. So Sarah's got, I mean, look, some of these presents are $5. When you buy something, it's almost like a registry and it'll go away afterwards. So all of these different gifts, gosh, I bet you we could wipe this out. Why don't we wipe this out for Sarah? You might say, oh, there's sort of this, someone else will help her. And I get it. If you don't have the cash, I understand. But if you do have an extra buck or two, we've got 12 to 14 amazing single moms that we are going to be helping out this Christmas season. Link in the comment section for that. And if you're on Patreon, coming up next, we'll have our interview with the founder of PS Creative Studios. You'll be able to check that out later on our YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed and stick around for that. Again, link in the comment section for our Amazon wish list. You can see all the different moms that we'll be covering for the next few weeks. You can donate to all of them today. I won't stop you. All right, more coming your way right after this.